Hello, everybody, and welcome to BC Buckets. I'm Matthew Brune. Joining me with Colin Mitchell. Colin, today we have AJ Johnson from the NBL, originally from California, was committed to Texas at one point. I wish he would have played at Texas. Him and Ron Holland were both committed to Texas at one point, and obviously they both didn't play college basketball, and their stock has dropped since then. So, PSA to everybody out there: go play college basketball. Just let the scouts go see you
Has
for a
Ron
year.
Holland's stock really dropped though?
Bro, they're talking about him outside the lottery. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but like
Well, I'm just
this was a
saying.
guy who was supposed to be top 3 in the draft.
That's fair.
Regardless, AJ Johnson's stock has certainly dropped.
Certainly.
Played for say the name.
Illawarra.
Iwara, thank you.
I didn't say it like that, but okay.
6'5", 19 and a half years old, and he didn't play.
No.
Didn't play. He went to
Yeah,
Australia to go sit the bench for a year.
8 minutes a game, 3 points a game. I mean, I don't need to name off the rest of the stats because there wasn't really time to do much else.
Yeah.
Some flashes were shown, which were cool. But yeah, stock has definitely dropped. Just to get into strengths real quick, the most immediate thing you notice with him is just his speed and I think handle. I thought it was like seeing him get to the basket. I think was the best thing for me, where he's just able to kind of get by with his step.
Yeah.
That's my main. That's my main.
That's the main thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's the other ones are upside, but I want to hear
The
your.
ball handling and passing, like he played a lot of. I watched the combine scrimmage specifically, and then a little bit of like AAU stuff and high school stuff. So I tried to get a feel for him, like obviously when he did play, and I think the ball handling and the passing upside is there for him. Now I don't think he's gonna play point guard in the NBA,
Oh
but
yeah,
he can handle the ball. Like if he reaches his ceiling, he can be a two guard that handles the ball and has some creation ability for everybody else. So I feel good about that. Now the shooting, 3-point shooting was not there, 28% from three, and I'm rounding up. But I do feel like he had some shooting feel to him. Like he had
yeah,
some nice pull up jumpers, and the form wasn't bad. And off the bounce, like he had some moments where he could rise up and shoot the ball over people. So it's like, okay, that's nice. That's nice. But ultimately, there's not much else to grab onto here. I wrote down like athletic tools, but needs to fill out the body a lot, especially at a high school dude. He was so skinny.
yeah.
So again, it probably benefited him for a year, in the NBL to where he could play with grown men and try to grow as a player. But ultimately, he needs reps. He needs minutes on the court, and he did not get those last year.
Yeah, and you saw a lot of it, like him able to get to the basket with his handle. That was cool as long as the player in front of him wasn't overly physical. I mean, to your point, he just has to get stronger. I mean, I don't. What's his weight? He's 6'5.5", and he weighs 167 pounds. Like
Whew.
that's tough. And
I'm
then
catching up to him, Colin.
and you're not 6'5".
Not 6'5".
And his free throw rate was only 0.14, so that's not great. And when the majority of your shots are gonna probably have to come at the basket when you're not shooting well from three. I mean, 35% overall, just from the floor in general. So all of his offensive stuff to me, and this is a weakness I have, is just flashes. It's everything that we like about it. Like we really like that he's able to rise up sometimes. We really like that he's able to shoot in rhythm sometimes. We really like that he's able to get the basket sometimes. But there's nothing really that's consistent enough for me to really latch onto outside of his speed and his ability to handle the ball.
And he was a top 30 prospect come out of high school, but it's not like he was Ron Holland. Like I said, like he's not like he was a top 5, top 10 prospect come out of high school. They're like, oh, this guy, like this guy's going to be a future, number top 10 pick. Like
Yeah.
he was a good prospect out of high school, and then he went and didn't play in the NBL last year. So it's concerning. I will say, like, two of my bigger concerns, even beyond just not knowing much, is can he play off ball on offense? Because everything has been on ball for him, and I don't think he's good enough to play on ball consistently in the NBA. And then secondly, defensively, even in the NBA combine where you're playing for a draft spot, he didn't seem like an overly intense defender. He didn't seem like he was someone that was ready to really get in someone's grill. And if you can't shoot and you are thin and don't do a ton well, that at least that scouts have seen, you need to be in someone's face and getting under their skin like a Jamal Shed does, like Ryan
Yeah,
Dunn does. Like you have to be everywhere, and he just wasn't that. So that kind of irked me a little bit. It's like, are you ready for what's about to come? And I don't know
yeah,
if he is.
yeah. That's a good point. I never even thought of that.
Um,
Um,
comps.
yeah, I had a tough time finding
Let's
comps,
see.
to be
I want to see
honest.
yours because I have two comps and they are way better than what I think he is.
I don't
But
even
like,
have a comp written down. I couldn't think of a
okay,
comp.
so these two are like,
Well, it's okay. First, tell me your process of how you get a comp for a player that you you don't know how he's even going to play in the
I
NBA.
literally went through every shooting guard in the NBA. I went through every shooting guard in the
See, I
NBA.
didn't think it was worth it for him.
Yeah, I went through every two guard and then even combo guards. Like, I went through every single one, and I just tried to see which ones I thought matched stylistically. A two guard that can handle a little bit quick, put some pressure on the rim, and ideally shoot the ball. And I came up with two players that are, like I said, first of all, as prospects, they were way better than him, and now in the NBA, they're good players. One is Lonnie Walker.
Mm.
Um, just obviously Lonnie Walker's had like vertical pop as well, and could immediately pretty much shoot the ball. And did so in Miami. And then two, I have Kobe White, who fills in that like combo guard kind of role, but as a scorer first guy. Again, don't think he reaches that Kobe White level. That's
Yeah,
for
Kobe
sure.
White's an incredible player.
Yeah, Lonnie Walker maybe is a little bit more attainable, right? Like a rotation guy that provides you some scoring off the bench. I even like Lonnie Walker on defense though, so it's like, or I mean in spurts on defense, so it's like I don't know if he's gonna get there, but like that's Lonnie Walker's probably like the most realistic thing for
But
him.
even if you try to get to Lonnie Walker, you're still gonna have to be able to score at the rim at
Yeah,
some clip, and
yeah,
right now that's just not there.
yeah. So I'm low on him. He's gonna probably by the end of this thing be 40s.
Really? See,
I
I
think
think in my head I'll have him in like the 50s.
50s. Wow. He's fine with Bronny James on your board. All right.
I mean, like if Bronny has like similar everything in terms of stats, I guess,
He's
but at least he has the more physical tools.
that's what we should have done the verses of. We should have done the verses of Bronny
Yeah,
versus AJ.
Johnson.
I'm taking AJ Johnson still. I think AJ Johnson has
Really?
more
Okay.
upside. Yeah. So I mean, at least Bronny got to play basketball last year though. So whatever that's worth. All right. Well, that's all we have for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave us a like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will talk to y'all later.